That night did not begin with fear. It began with silence. The kind of silence that settles over a place long before something is felt. The house was old, resting at the edge of a narrow country road. Tall trees surrounded it on all sides, their branches blocking most of the moonlight. Only thin silver lines slipped through the leaves and touched the porch. I stood just inside the front door, listening. The air felt cool and still. The faint smell of aged wood and dust lingered in the hallway. Behind me, the door creaked softly as it settled into place. The sound echoed longer than it should have, as if the house itself was responding to my presence. I took off my coat slowly and hung it on the old wooden rack. The metal hook squeaked under the weight. That small sound made my heart jump. I told myself to relax. This was my home. I had lived here long enough to know its noises, its habits, its moods. But something felt different that night. The air felt heavier. Not threatening, but watchful. As if the house was waiting. I stepped into the hallway. The wooden floor was cold beneath my feet. Each step produced a soft creak that traveled down the narrow corridor. The old clock on the wall ticked steadily. Tick. 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 Each second stretched longer than the last. I paused halfway down the hall. My breath felt shallow. My chest tightened slightly, though I could not explain why. That was when the feeling arrived. Not suddenly. Not sharply. But gently, like a presence stepping quietly into the room. I felt as though someone was standing behind me. Close enough to feel. Not close enough to touch. I turned slowly, my heart beating faster. The hallway was empty. Only shadows stretched along the walls, bending with the corners of the house. A chill passed through the air. The hair on my arm stood up. I wrapped my hands together, trying to steady the shaking in my fingers. Fear did not rush in. It crept. Quietly. Carefully. Like it did not want to be noticed. I remembered my mother's voice from long ago. When fear comes softly, she used to say, that is when you pray the deepest. I closed my eyes. Not because I was brave, but because I did not know what else to do. My prayer was quiet. Barely more than a thought. A simple request for protection, spoken without confidence or ceremony. As I prayed, my breathing slowed. The tightness in my chest eased. The silence around me changed its tone. It no longer felt empty. It felt full. As if the space around me was occupied by something unseen but steady. I opened my eyes. The hallway looked the same, yet somehow softer. The shadows no longer pressed inward. I walked slowly toward the living room. Each step felt lighter. The fear that had followed me earlier stayed behind in the hallway. The lamp in the corner cast a warm amber glow across the room. Dust floated through the light, drifting lazily like tiny stars. I sat down on the couch, sinking into the worn cushions. The fabric smelled faintly of age and time. The house creaked softly as if settling for the night. That was when I felt it again. Stronger this time. A presence beside me. Not frightening. Not overwhelming. It felt as though someone was standing guard. Silent. Patient. Unmoving. My shoulders relaxed. My breathing deepened. A calm spread through me that I had not felt in years. I did not see a figure. I did not hear a voice. There were no visions or signs. Only certainty. I thought of every night I had felt alone in my life. Every moment I wished someone stronger was nearby. This felt like an answer I had waited a long time to receive. I whispered another prayer. This time, not out of fear, but gratitude. Outside, the wind moved through the trees. Leaves rustled softly. The sound felt distant and harmless now. Time passed slowly. I stayed still, listening to the clock and my own steady breathing. The presence remained, silent and reassuring. Eventually, it began to fade. Not suddenly. Not abruptly. But gently, like someone stepping back once they knew I was safe. I remained on the couch, wrapped in warm lamplight. The house felt peaceful now. Empty, but never lonely. That night taught me something I have never forgotten. Faith does not always arrive with miracles. Sometimes, it simply stands beside you in the dark. Even now, years later, I remember that calm certainty. The silence. The stillness. And the quiet knowledge that I was never truly alone.